What's going on, friends? It's your friendly neighborhood old soldier coming at you again from Robeson County, North Carolina. Today's the last day of early voting here, if I'm not mistaken. I've got no faith in the electoral system right now, folks. I still encourage you to go out and do your civic duty and pray that it does make a change, that it does make a difference, that we can get these rat-ass communists out of office, and that maybe we can get some investigations into these rat-ass communists and put their asses behind bars where they belong. Yeah, not safe for working kids. I've been watching the polls, trying to watch the polls, not that you can make much sense out of it. Who knows who's telling the truth and who ain't? Just to tell you the truth, the whole matter. They're saying right now Nevada is the closest state as far as the toss-up is concerned. Of course, you got your typical blue states that will stay blue: California, Oregon, Washington, California, New York, all that shebang, Illinois. I don't know about Michigan. Michigan can go either way, I think. Wisconsin seems to be leaning very red. Here in North Carolina, they say it's down to the wire. We'll see. Yeah. Divisive politics. News of the day. The sad part is the people keep buying that communist hogwash, hook, line, and sinker, as it's the gospel truth, when it's nothing but a pack of lies. For those of us that voted for the evil orange-haired man, we're trash according to the president. And, they can try to backpedal that statement all they want. Man said what he meant. I think he might have been one of the few moments when he was in his coherent mind state when he said what he said. But apparently there was a politician from Puerto Rico that backed Trump or endorsed Trump. That's significant in regards, considering Puerto Rico has a very strong tendency to vote blue all the time. Of course, they've got their own issues internally in the protectorate that we call Puerto Rico, internal politics. They've got some severe corruption issues. That was evident when Trump was in office the first time and hurricane ripped through there. 2 years later, they go to the warehouse and find generators, food, and water that was sent to help out that the governor of Puerto Rico just put away. Decided not to distribute it so he could blame Trump for not getting anything. Yeah, it happened. Look it up. All I can tell you, folks, you haven't voted yet, get out and vote. Tuesday's a big day. I'll probably stay up and watch this one to the very finish, just because. See how many people have meltdowns on either side. See where we go from there, folks. What it is, I guess, at this point in time. Like I've stated before, I've got no faith in our electoral system right now, especially in states like California. Basically, have made it illegal for election workers to check the photo ID, which makes room for a corruption of the vote, given the number of illegals that have sought sanctuary in California. Here in North Carolina, we finally had to show our ID, thank God. When my wife and I went and voted week before last, we had to present our ID. They verified it, filled out our ballot, turned it in, and moved on out. The fact that people would throw an argument about showing ID to vote, but yet not bat an eye when the government wants to see photo ID before they sign you up for benefits, is beyond me. Other than the fact they want to keep the same corruption office that's there now. I've talked about it before, and this goes back when Pat McCrory was the governor of North Carolina and got a voter ID bill passed. And the big fat buffet slayer, Reverend Willie Barber, his name, Willie Barber, big fat piece of lard trash, loudmouth, School of Al Sharpton, race baiting hustler, living off other people's money because he's too fat to work. I don't normally call people on the way. You got to see the man. He's blatantly obese. Calling the North Carolina voter ID law at the time racist, and that it disenfranchised a certain minority group from coming and going to vote. And the whole thing was lied about in the media. Local media had a lot to do with that particular law being taken to the Supreme Court and overturned because they lied. They wouldn't tell the truth. No matter how many times the McCrory camp come out and said, no, that is not what this law means. That's not what, and I've told y'all before in a previous video, the buffet slayer kept saying, a lot of black people can't get a driver's license. And McCrory would come on, well, you don't have to have a driver's license to vote. You just need a photo ID, and we will provide you a state ID for $10. And if you can't afford that, we'll waive that fee and provide you a free state ID card. And he would get on the news, oh, black people can't afford to buy a pay for a driver's license. You see the word spin, the word salad, and the media would catch on to that and play it over and over again. Yes, needing a driver's license to vote. Well, some people can't qualify for a driver's license. What are they supposed to do? And of course, the governor's office would come back out and tell them, no, never one ever said you need a driver's license, just a photo ID. The government approved photo ID. If you can't afford one, we'll provide it to you at no cost. But see, the buffet slayers camp could afford to rent vans and pack them in by the hundreds. You go to same-day voter registration and voting. And that happened in several counties up north of here. In Cumberland County, North Carolina, during one of the campaigns, there was a candidate running for city council that was picking up voters and taking them to the polls, and then after they voted, took them out to eat. Tell me that's not a violation of campaign law. But because of her skin color, nobody wanted to call her out on it. Yep, I said it. That's why they're afraid to go after the buffet slayer. They're afraid of the lawsuits. The sad part is that man continues to support a party that has kept their thumb on the neck of black people in North Carolina for 60 years or more. In fact, all the promises these Democrat lawmakers have made to them, and they're still living in the same poverty and squalor as they were 40, 50, 60 years ago. Oh, and the other thing that the old Buffet Slayer come out with, that, you know, the man of God, the Reverend William Barber, the man of God. You know, supports some very ungodly things. Truly does. I would dare say he's guilty of politicking from the pulpit, which, what I understand, a church that does that is supposed to lose its tax-exempt status. I'll be quite honest, I think all churches should lose their tax-exempt status. That way the preachers can preach the gospel the way it's meant to be preached without the worry or concern of the federal government coming in and say, well, you've got to pay taxes now. Well, we can come back and say, we've been paying them. Government overreach. That is the very finest, boys and girls. Anyway, this is for you, Brother Kyle. I just thought I'd jump on here and encourage everybody to go vote, even though I've got no faith in the electoral system. I did perform my civic duty, me and my wife and my son. I'm praying and hoping it makes a difference, but I'm not holding my breath either. They stole the last election. What's to say they won't steal this one? We shall see come Tuesday. We shall truly see. And if Donald Trump does get back into the White House, first thing I hope he does is reverse about 90% of Joe Biden's executive orders. Cleans house at the DEA, the FBI, the ATF, the IRS, GSA. And hopefully he'll surround himself with people this time that ain't gonna stab him in the back at the first opportunity they get. Wonder what I'm talking about? Go back to President Grant's presidency. Read up on it. Grant got elected. He put a lot of people into positions due to political favor that he thought was going to do the job that they were appointed to do, but turned around and used their office for personal gain, and in the process created scandals that affected President Grant. They just put egg on his face. Kind of what happened to Trump during his first presidency, his first couple of years. So hopefully this time he'll have surrounded himself with people that are loyal to the Constitution and to him, but more so to the Constitution, and they're going to do right by the American people. But we shall see. We shall see. Folks, keep your eyes open, head on the swivel, ear to the ground, and we'll talk at you soon. Soldier out.